Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, I'm back out at the Snake River Canyon today. Hey, big surprise, huh? Dedication point at the Snake River Canyon, one of my favorite places to fly. So I got to thinking the other day, I was flying the Mavic Air 2 yesterday and having a great time with it, obviously with all the new updates and all that stuff. And I was just at Heroes Park in Meridian, just in town there, just trying some stuff out. And I got to thinking about the little Mini, and I haven't flown this guy in a while. And it's been, I think, months since I've flown it out here at the Snake River Canyon. And the weather report is going to show for the next few days we're going to have temps over 100 degrees. Today is only going to get in the mid 80s. It's about 81 degrees right now, midday, about 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. So I thought this is probably my last opportunity for a while to get out midday in the bright sun and fly this guy. Now we do have some winds, 7 mile an hour it says on UAV forecast with 17 mile an hour gusts. So, you know, obviously this guy's not great in the wind, but what the heck, we're going to give it a shot anyway. And so we'll take it up, we'll take it out over the canyon and won't get too carried away. But, you know, we're not going to do anything fancy today. I just want to get this little guy out over the canyon and show what it can do. It's just a phenomenal little product for $400. And the 2.7K video on this thing, I will put it up against a lot of the 4K video in other drones. So yeah, let's quit messing around. Let's get this little guy in the air. Hey, I just saw one more thing before I take off here. So you know, there's a lot of talk about the way the props can get squished in the DJI case that comes with the Fly More kit. So this was kind of my solution to make sure they don't get out of the way. This is just a little, it's just a very thin piece of plastic with a couple of slits cut in it, and it holds those props in place so that when you put them in that case, they're not getting crushed. Just wanted to show that to you. Okay, wow, it looks like we've got everything set up here, and we're ready to go. It's interesting the way the Fly app recognizes the Mavic Mini and, you know, what drone you're hooked up to. So I mean, it just recognized it. I'm trying to keep my phone in the shade of my own body here. So we're going to click Go Fly. Yeah, it's asking me for a compass calibration, so we'll do that. So calibration is good. Make sure you can see the drone here. Yeah, return to home at 50 meters. That's plenty. We've got max distance set at 2 kilometers. We're not going to fly any farther than that, I guarantee you. We're in 2.7K, 30 frames per second. That's good. Boy, there are flies out here. So if you see me swatting around, you'll know what that's about. Let me just take one look here at safety. Boy, everything looks good. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't just take off here. Okay, we're going to start recording right now. Recording is started. We do have that cool green icon up at the top for the battery meter. I like that. We're going to hit the takeoff button on the app here. So I'm going to get out of the way so you guys can see it. And we'll just let the little guy hover for a second. Let's bring him in, take it to the camera here. Cool thing about a DJI drone is you can bring it right in like this. You know, if you guys saw me out here the other day with the Femi and the Zeno, you would just never do this with those drones. So let's back it off. A little wind came up there, and it started moving around. Let's jag it back and forth here a little bit. You can watch that gimbal in action. Okay, so we're good to go there. That's probably enough of that. I think we ought to do our manual droning. So I'm going to go reverse and up right now. Reverse and up. And we don't need to go too far up in altitude. Enjoying the river. So I'm going full forward here. About 8 meters per second. And this is kind of with the wind, so I'm not going to go very far that way. So let me flip it around, and I unfortunately, to get this thing in the shade, get the phone in the shade, I'm kind of having to point away from the drone with the controller. So, but anyway, let's go full stick forward this way, and this should be against the wind, and it is, because we're not going as fast as we were the other way. We were up to 8 meters per second. Well, you know, it's picking up now. But we'll go downriver here a ways. Wow, so we're up to 8 meters per second. That's good. That's me yawing the drone there. Sorry, I moved a little quick there. And you know, you talk about, you know, this is a Wi-Fi drone, and as we go further this direction, it's going to be there's terrain that will block the signal here. So I'm gonna get, yeah. So we just, yeah, temporarily disconnected. Just as soon as I told you that, I knew. So I'm gonna raise an altitude here. We're going straight up, and if I can get it high enough, I think we'll be okay. Yeah, now we're getting a wind warning, although I'm not feeling the wind much here. And you know, that's one of the things, and it went away here, so it was probably a gust of wind or something that it had. And of course I was going straight up at the same time. But it's going forward at a good rate of speed, so, and the wind is it's going into the wind, so let's go over here towards the side of the whoops, sorry about that quick yaw. That was my fault. I need to adjust that yaw, and you can, I believe you can do that now with this newest update. Let's fly back over the rim of the canyon. I'll tell you, there are just flies everywhere up here. and you're trying to focus on flying the drone, and then there's a million flies. Let's fly along the rim here. We better gain some altitude because there might be some of those raptors that may not like this little drone buzzing above their habitat. Or I've never had one of those raptors even pay any attention to any drone I've ever flown over here. And I've talked to the officials at the Birds of Prey Center, and because I was concerned, you know, I wanted to make sure that flying a drone wouldn't bother anything, and they said, nah, they don't care. And in fact, they now use drones to check the nests for eggs. So you can see where I'm at there. You can see the wall, and I'm at the very far end of that wall on the rim, kind of in the corner there. Yeah, and I've got a couple of them flying above me here right now. I'm going to check it out. And there goes the drone right by us. And those birds aren't even looking at it. Well, it's zipping right across the sky. So let's go back out here and look. It's been a while since I've shown you this. There's a, I think it goes back to when they used to do airmail. And I think this was originally an arrow that pointed towards Boise. And I think people have kind of rebuilt it over the years. And I know the Boy Scouts have done a project there. So let's drop the gimbal down, and you can see that. And see that arrow pointed out there? And I think it says "I love you, Mom" there or something. And then that little arrow is pointing towards the city of Boise. Well, due north, according to that, it says, which is directly, if you followed that arrow, you would get to probably directly almost to downtown Boise. Okay, let's go back out over the canyon rim, and I think we should yeah, weak signal, and I'm kind of pointed right at it, but there again, this is a terrain thing. So I'm kind of in a little well here where I'm standing, so that's kind of why we're getting that. That's I tried to get the drone up high enough. So I am going to stop right here and stop recording for a second and take some pictures. That is one thing that I seldom do with this drone. So let's go into photo, and let's look, we're going sideways at 8 meters per second. Okay, this looks like it's framed up pretty good. Let's get a picture there. And then we are going to yaw around the other direction. So that we were just facing south there, essentially. We were facing south towards the dam, and now as we turn around here, we'll be facing north. So let's see if we can line this up and get a good picture of the canyon here. Okay, full stick forward, and look, we're only down to 50% battery. Let's go back into video and record again. Maybe we'll bring it back to us here, and we'll do a quick shot. That sounds like a good idea to me. We've got the battery to do it, so why not? And I mean, the drone is just performing awesome. So, you know, like I said, right now we are going into the wind. Yeah, and I see it's picking up speed. It was down in around 6 meters per second. It's picking up a little bit, but it's fighting a little bit of a headwind this way, but it's doing okay. That's something that you got to keep in mind with the Mavic Mini. It just, you know, it's just such a small, yeah, weak signal. I was pointed away from the drone, so I had to turn around here. I'm turning so I can get it in the shade, and then I end up losing signal because I'm pointed away from it. Okay, I'm going to start angling towards where we're at here on the edge of the rim. And let's pick up the camera a little bit, or pick up the gimbal. Get more of that rule of thirds back, and there we are. Let's bring it straight back to us. So now it's just at a little bit of a crosswind, and it's doing about 8 meters per second. I'm going to drop some altitude here as we get closer. And kind of drop the gimbal as we come over the top of the rim here. Whoops, sorry about that. I turned it just too much. I need to I was looking at the drone and not my FPV there, and you forget how quick that gimbal is. So let's drop some altitude. And I'm going to go full stick forward right over the top of us here, and I'm right at the edge of that rock wall there. There, you can see me there. Right over the top of us. Back up with the gimbal. Yeah, this drone is just amazing. Okay, we have how much battery here? 35%. We can probably do one quick shot. Bring in a quick yaw, and we're going to bring it in here. See if it'll get me here. Evidently I need to come in a little closer. There we go. It's got me. We're going to click start. And it'll count down here. And it will basically do a corkscrew above us. It will gain an altitude and move away from us and circle all at the same time, and it looks pretty good. You get a good look at where I'm standing right on the side of the rim here. So pretty cool that we got capabilities with like that with this drone, and I like the way it accelerates through the helix as well. And if you notice on the screen, as that white ring goes around the red dot, that tells you how far it is. And as soon as it's done, it'll return to where it started, and then when that ring goes green again, or when that red spot goes green again, it's back at its starting point. And of course, by hitting the X, you can stop it at any time. So it's funny because it knows it's not quite where it was. Yeah, there we go. Because I'm looking at it, no, that wasn't quite where we started it. Okay, let's bring it in here. Get out of there. I should start recording again here. We're going to go back into there. Recording started. And we've got a little bit of a wind that just came up here. Sorry, that was me kicking the camera. So let's see if we can land this baby. Wow. Well, that was pilot error, but it's okay. One of the props just went into a little bit of vegetation down there, but it didn't really hurt anything. Yeah, I thought I had it there, and it went into landing mode after I started that, so it wasn't pretty, but it's on the ground. Okay guys, so I just wanted to show you the Mini's in good shape. Didn't hurt anything. It just landed there. It's just gravel down here. They graveled this in front, so it was a good spot for it to come down. You know, when I reached out with my hand, all I'm going to say is I probably didn't give it enough time to recognize my hand, and you know, it kind of went back up. Then I took my hand back out, and it was already in landing mode, and I could see that it was clear down there, so I just let it go down. It did, however, I'll see if I can tilt the camera down here a little bit. See if you can see it. Yeah, there's a little, just one of the props touched the edge of that bush right there, so no big deal. Did not affect the drone in any way. This thing is just so impressive, and it's so much fun to fly. And you know, we had a fair amount of wind here today, and it did just fine. I mean, we got a couple of wind warnings when we were out there. I'm sure those were gusts when we were out there over the canyon, but we got to do a lot of things. We got to take a nice scenic flight. The flight time is just amazing on this guy. I know the video quality is going to be good because I've seen it before, and like I said, I put it up against some of those other drones that I've been flying, even though it's only 2.7K. And then we took some pictures with it. I always forget to do that, so I'm anxious to take a look at those pictures. And then we did, even at the very end there, sorry I keep brushing flies away, at the end there I got to do a helix with it as well. We did a helix, which was always fun, and it gets, you know, especially when you're on the edge of the rim of the canyon here, as it goes over the rim, it makes for kind of a cool dramatic shot. So anyway, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please make sure and subscribe to my channel. Most of all, I really appreciate you taking the time to look at this video, and we absolutely will see you on the next one. DJI Mavic Mini, man, it's a gem.